Okay, we'll call today's meeting of the Natrona County Parks Advisory Board to order. Roll call, please.
Rob Hill, present.
Doug Irvin, present.
Cordell Wistison, present.
Michael Brown, present.
Okay, next will we join me in the Pledge of the Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item on the agenda is the appointment of officers. However, we're missing two of our boards, so we will defer that to the next meeting with the hopes that we'll have full attendance for that. Could I have a motion to that effect, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes from the December 12th, 2024 meeting as presented.
Okay, great. Next up, reports from the park director.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot. We'll start on the mountain, the Casper Mountain Trail Center. Ongoing progress. The county will probably receive a temporary certificate of occupancy, hopefully Tuesday afternoon. There will still be a few things that need to be finished before the building's completely turned over to the county, but the parking lot should be available end of day Tuesday. I will post an update on the website to that effect when that's in able, which will be good because we have middle school practice going on as well as high school practice. So there's anywhere from 4 to 8 buses in the afternoons trying to find parking on the mountain. They're still finishing up the flooring, a few minor trim out items. The county has finalized the ordering on the kitchen counters and sinks. I still don't have a delivery date for that, as well as the banquet tables. Some of the items that the county is going to have to do to get the building up and running and open to the public is first and foremost, we have to do our water testing, and we've started the paperwork, but we haven't been able to actually do the testing because plumbers are still working in there. That's a minimum of a 2-week process, and I can't have anybody in there even using the bathrooms and washing their hands until the EPA says we are okay to be serving water to the public. And then obviously we need to move some items up there. I do have, at least we have the webcams operational. But yeah, so hopefully middle of next week we can start utilizing the parking lot and alleviate some of the congestion. Any questions on the trail center?
None from me. Other board members? Nope. Thank you.
Nordic Pass's status right now is we've sold 482 adult season passes, 240 youth, and 78 day passes. That increases daily. They're coming in online all the time. We have customers coming in and buying them in the office. So that's continuing. Enforcement's a work in progress. I've checked a few passes randomly at times. When we will have a full-time staff member coming on board February 1st, whose main objective is maintaining that lodge, cleaning it. He'll have some auxiliary duties with other park staff on the mountain, but one of his primary goals is checking passes, educating and notifying users of our parks rules, reminding people they need to have their dog on a leash, reminding them not to walk on the groomed ski areas, reminding people that you have to have a trail pass, whether you ski, snowshoe, or fat bike, whether it's on the groomed trails or the single track, those types of things. So that'll help get the word out and probably increase our trail pass sales quite a bit.
Question there. When you said the single track, so off of the area around the lodge, those trails that you want trail passes for that bike riding as well.
Yes,
And
so
like snowshoeing Eadsville.
yep, the Eadsville Trail. There's a trail called Miners Loop inside the maze. There's a new little trail there. Austin Burgess with CWTA, I think, is grooming around 10 miles of single track trail. So we have quite an extensive trail system there. And a lot of the fat bikers like to use that as well. So, also, you know, the other informational, educational part of having staff up there would be to kind of indicate, you know, where you should ski on our groom trails, where you should snowshoe, where you should fat bike, so that, you know, we try and keep it nice for everybody. And that staff member will be working Saturdays and Sundays throughout the year. So we'll have a presence up there now that we haven't had for quite a while.
That's a excellent
Good.
development.
So the biathlon area, the operating and grooming agreements, they were on the commissioner's agenda for Tuesday. They were pulled for some reasons that a few things haven't been completed yet, so they're waiting. Hopefully by 2 weeks those will be signed. They'll be able to operate and groom. County staff is going to start limited grooming over there, but with no grooming done so far this year. It'll be track packing first and then grooming. So it'll take us a few weeks before we really have something that's nice and skiable over there, because I don't have the staff or the hours to do all of it. But that decision was made this morning that we're going to start prepping some of those trails, basically a long loop around over, you know, from the top over to the parking lot and then around. It's kind of where some of the paved trails are, but it'll add a decent long ski for a lot of people. So we're starting on that. I don't know how much progress we'll make, because we need to maintain what we have, and if things degrade over the Nordic area, this is part of why. It's because we're trying to groom some of that. We will not be grooming the stadium area at biathlon. We will not be grooming the firing line, the penalty loops, none of that, because that part's really not designed for recreational skiers and the general public. So there's no need to do that. Any questions so far?
Question on the mountain grooming for the snowmobilers. I know that isn't a part of the county, but I don't know if you guys keep in touch with them. Have they started that yet? Or?
I have not heard if they've started, and I did not go up Easton Road today, so I don't know if they've done that. I know we built our access in the bear trap parking, a nice decent ramp down into the meadow for, you know, taking your snowmobile from the parking lot the other day. But yeah, you would probably have to call State Trails to find that out. I don't know what the status of that is this year.
I didn't know if they communicated back and forth very well or not. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't communicate directly. It's just kind of happenstance when we do have communication. Hell's Half Acre, purchases are pending for supplies. Pending the weather in the morning, I'm going to have a site visit out there to lay out some things with Road and Bridge, due to the light winter so far, which I say that, but now it's snowing. Road and Bridge has some staff and equipment that may be available to assist us in grading and graveling out there, so we're going to discuss that. Great. So that's kind of where that's at. Pathfinder Alcova, really not much going on. Last time I mentioned that we were putting some rock barriers around the Base campground. Now we've moved over to Gray Reef, to install some barricades. There's been some unauthorized traffic that's caused rutting in some vegetative areas. I wouldn't call them riparian, but they are very close to the river. And so we're just trying to delineate that and keep vehicular, damage to some of the soils there done. Yes.
What all parts of Gray Reef are county, jurisdiction?
So the county manages, most of the shoreline right as you make the turn towards the dam from the road there down to just past the dam. And so we have like one or two campsites above the dam area right there at the dam. And then we have a few of them down below, and we have some, boat trailer parking for drift boats below the dam, and a boat ramp there. And then past there, the BLM has a campground. I'm not recalling the name of it right now, but they have that. So we have quite a bit of traffic there. Quite a few drift boats in there. Sometimes in the summer when we have decent flows, even on a Wednesday, the boat trailer parking's full with 20 boat trailers. So it just needs some touch up and work.
So that whole parking lot is county?
Yeah, where everybody parks right by the boat ramp. Yep. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Shovel
Nice.
snow.
Nice to see you, Jim.
Yeah, and then the last item, I'm still managing some construction projects out at the lakes, cabins, trailers, and marinas. So I'm trying to get those caught up, as well as lots of other boring administrative duties.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Is there any board questions for the Parks Director?
I saw pictures on the lodge on social media.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get some to the IT department, post on the website, and update some here tomorrow
That would be good.
that I took today. So
Will there be a walkthrough for us to go up, or not at all? You're not gonna do a
so
view?
Monday is a punch list day, so we're gonna go and punch all the items that need fixed. Tuesday, my staff and some other departments will be up there for O&M training, operational. Here's how you turn this on. Here's where we have hidden valves, those types of things. And, but yeah, we could definitely schedule a time after that. I could schedule a time before our next meeting to take you guys up there and do a walkthrough. Like I said before, we'll have our certificate of occupancy, but we will not be occupying it until we have potable water that we can provide to the public, and that'll be at least a few weeks. So yeah, I'd be more than happy to coordinate a time to go up there and show you guys.
I think that'd be great, Michael. Send us an email and can pick out a time that you're free and it's available. Great.
How did, that meeting go yesterday with BOCC? I had to leave, so
That's I'm not sure what the development of the Board of Trustees is gonna be at this time. What they accomplished yesterday, I think they're working on the bylaws for that board. It's my understanding that we will continue to have two boards at this time. Cause as you all know, the Board of Trustees are the county commissioners at this time. Statutorily, that board is required. They moved to have the parks rules posted for public comment. So that should be coming forth here fairly soon. And once those are posted, obviously your folks' comments will be important to them. and whatnot. And so, that's the same with the parks fees that I developed. That could have gone two ways. They could have adopted them right there. However, they chose to put those out for public comment for the 45-day period as well. So right now, parks fees aren't changing at all. But, yeah, Mr. North is the chairman of that board of trustees. I don't
Alice
remember.
Laird.
Dallas Laird, I think, is the secretary. I don't recall. They do not have a treasurer at this. I don't know if they have a treasurer at this time, but they don't deal with any fiscal responsibilities at this time as that board of trustees. This board, the board of trustees will be set at, is supposed to be following similar to the airport board and a fair board. They're under the same statute. So I don't know where this is gonna go, if eventually this will be a actual independent, separate board and separate department, like the airport. But I think eventually, if that's the case, they will, appoint members from the public to it. I don't think it'll stay with the commissioners. However, there is proposed legislation in Cheyenne to slightly modify that and give the county commissioners an option to act as that board for Parks Department.
Like they do for the Board of Equalization and a couple other.
Correct. And so it's all up in there as far as I can tell. That meeting is on YouTube. It's, I think it's 2 hours long. So, but we went step by step through most of the rule changes. And really the significant changes are the ones that this board and I discussed and reviewed and approved clear back in March of 2024. The only things that are different that we really didn't discuss were the cleaned up some verbiage about golf carts and then made sure the statutes that were referred to were the correct statutes. So those are significant differences really. So not a lot of difference from here, but I'll let you guys know. It'll be posted on a website for public comment and whatnot. So
So those comments came in, the SO had their comments also in there.
yes. So I have met with county legal several times over the last 2 months, along with Commissioner North on those parks rules, and then we also did have a individual meeting with us and with the sheriff's office representative to go through those, and we went through page by page. So we have their input as well, which we had back before March of 24 when I sat down with a few of the deputies and discussed some of those items. So I think it's a pretty good product. We'll see what happens. So.
Any other questions for Michael?
I don't know if it's a question or just a FYI. The Central Wyoming Trails Alliance built a trail from Bear Trap to Skunk Holler off on the side of the ski trails. So people could access from Bear Trap to Skunk Holler if for skiing purposes, for biking, anybody what says on their website that everyone can walk on this, walk, ski, ride a bike, whatever, to get down from Bear Trap to Skunk Holler, so they're not on the road or on the ski trail.
Yeah, and I mentioned that a little bit earlier. I believe that'll only really apply this Sunday, but it is highly recommended that people use that trail for that access, like you said, because I should have the parking lot at the lodge available Tuesday afternoon. I have to wait for a temporary certificate of occupancy before that parking lot's released to the county, but the expected date is Tuesday afternoon. I will post that on the Nordic blog, as soon as I know. And that'll alleviate a lot of things. But, you know, with that, everybody's gonna think the lodge is open. The lodge will not be open, minimum of 2 weeks due to EPA requirements, testing water. It may be longer because the county still has to do some of our items inside the building.
Might want to post a little sign in the door window so you don't have everybody calling you saying,
Right.
isn't this open?
Or also, on the website,
Yeah,
because I'm getting calls, I just refer them back to you. So I said, stand by. So,
yeah, we're getting close. So just be a little more patient. We're gonna get there.
okay. The report I've got, so far on the grooming that's taken place on the ski trails has been good. You and I have talked about it, me just getting with the driver and just showing him some different areas that he can set tracks sooner than later. And that's not a big deal, but it will help.
And you were probably gone. I'll mention again. We are going to start grooming it biathlon. Not a lot. Basically a long loop from our ski trails on top down to the parking lot and then the loop back around. However, we will have to track pack that first. But this, with this requirement to do some of that, our grooming may fall off a little bit at the current Nordic area where we're currently grooming. So, due to staffing and time that we have, but we're gonna try and keep up what we have as much as we can without it falling down. So, this decision was made today, per some of the documents I've read, and without the Biathlon Club having an operating agreement, it falls back on the county to provide some of those trails. Not all of them, not the firing line, not the penalty loops, basically a long ski trail. A lot of it follows what you would see in the summer is paved trail. So it'll add some, but it's gonna take us a few weeks to get that really to where it's skiable.
So the stadium will get packed also? Not on the firing line, but just in the stadium itself?
No, we will go, basically we'll come down from above the stadium to the parking lot right there so people can access the trails. We'll take that loop around, but we won't go up the east side and we won't go quite a ways north. We'll just come around outside of the stadium where the paved trail is and then go back up the hill and tie back in.
Come back around the same way you came?
Well, we'll make like a,
Back up on that other?
yeah, we'll make like a teardrop and come back in the same way. So zigzag, that connection won't be groomed.
Right.
But the one further south will be. So, and provide that opportunity for people to ski there.
And that will help, with the snow and all that stuff, more people will come in and it will help alleviate, disperse the
exactly.
crowd, you know?
Yeah, I saw the middle schoolers today and there are a lot of them. So,
Well, they've got, I think at some point they'll have 5 buses up there.
Oh, my God.
I was told between 6 and 8.
What's that?
I was told between 6 and 8.
Well, it might get that way. I mean,
Yeah.
the junior high has got a large number of kids. Each high school's got one apiece. So it just depends how they can fill the buses up, or if they need more.
Yeah, well, and drivers will affect this. I've heard that each middle school will at least have one bus, and they've, in the past they've done some where they alternate which schools are on the mountain which day, but with such a short season for the middle schoolers, it's kind of detrimental to them if they can't ski every day. And then, you know, they used to kind of combine them at sunrise and put them on one bus, but with this many kids, they can't do that. And then that takes away their time because I believe the middle schoolers are done at 5 p.m. every day. I don't think they can stay past that, so they're off the mountain or down at sunrise by 5:30, where the high schoolers stay later.
They're usually off the hill 5:30, 5:45, high school.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just, which is great to have that many kids want to be involved and whatnot. It's just a logistic problem, you know, which is not a bad problem.
right.
So, great. At some point, they're probably gonna wanna drive into the parking lot at the lodge. And not just Bear Trap or Skunk Holler. Is that gonna be easily taken care of, or what do we need to do to,
For the buses or for people?
for the buses? Well, if people are gonna, if that gate is open, people are gonna come.
Well, the buses will be allowed in there too. It's a matter of where exactly to park them up there. I don't think during the week there's not a huge amount of traffic, so I think we can probably just park the buses along the perimeter, and that'll be fine. Or they can pull up, because there's a bus loading and unloading area that'll hold 2 buses in line. But when you look at how you have to push snow and everything, it was designed to have vehicle parking between these lights just off of that, you know, opposite the bus park loading. But you really can't get the buses around there with that, so we're not gonna allow vehicles to park right there. So we could probably pull 4 buses in a line right there in that loading unloading area. So, but yeah, there's plenty of parking.
Yeah, I think so. During the week, it should be
Yep.
plenty.
Yeah, just once we have access to the lot, probably want to work out meeting up with the school bus drivers to give them the game plan.
I've already been talking with the garage since Monday. So, yeah, we're in communication.
Super.
Anything else for Michael?
I think I'm okay.
Okay, and I don't see any public here, so I'll entertain a motion to close out the meeting. Can I,
So move we adjourn.
and can I get a second?
I will second that.
And we stand adjourned.